Hey, how's it going, everybody? Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Today, I'm here to give you a tour on the BMX Streets Map, which is based in Vancouver, British Columbia, which I have done a lot of time growing up in, also riding a bike around. So the main thing for areas that we'll be spending some time around is the MGU, which in real life is based off of SFU, which is Simon Fraser University. Now, at this university, you have a courtyard, which is the same here. This pond does exist in real life with the same type of structure here, as well as a staircase that goes up to classrooms and everything like that. So this is actually done really well. They did go ahead and include important landmarks. That's what we'll say here. Important landmarks and distinguishable areas. So the next thing we'll check out real quick. So again, still at the Simon Fraser University here, or the MGU in game. If you just go this way from the courtyard, you'll be blessed with some stair sets, some ledges, and this is another representation of one of the main stair sets in real life. And in the distance, you will see a Canadian flag down there on a flagpole, and again, more building structure, more things at the university. So this is actually one of my favorite locations in the game, just because of how it's done. It's got lots of skatable stuff, and they've gone ahead with the game and removed the signages. There's lots of signs at this place in real life that are actually annoying and would even be in the way of some of the lines if they did exist. So that's the MGU, the base point of it, the most recognizable portion in real life in the game. And the rest is just nice to have. It's there, and there's some extra stuff for you to ride on. So go ahead and explore that place. The next place I want to check out is the observatory. This one is really small here. The only cool thing about this place that I like is inside of this building there's a skate park. Excuse me. But not only that, the roof display is based off of a design structure for Science World in Vancouver, which in real life would actually be located near the stadium in terms of the building structure itself with all of the triangles on the roof. But in the game, we have the top portion of Science World with a skate park inside of it, and from the inside, you can see that you can see out. This spot is also a really good spot with some unique structure, and I really like getting some wall ride gaps and tricks on this little sphere right there. So let's continue on to a little bit more of a meaningful spot in the game here. Now, sorry about the coughing, guys. I'm just getting a little bit sick. But right down here, what we have is an industrial area with a bowl underneath some roadways with the arena sports stadium there in the background. In real life, up to date, it's called Rogers Arena. I believe is formerly BC Place and another name like that. So in the game, we have MG Place, and there is going to be a little small plaza beside that. But we'll get there to a sec, because this bowl, there are bowls in Vancouver that have very similar design. I came here and I immediately recognized that this bowl is definitely similar to some of the ones in real life. But if we go down just a little bit from the bowl here in the city, what you'll find that's also enjoyable, that is a really good representation of something you'll find in Vancouver. If I could just see where it is and get over there, because I always forget. I'm just looking for the Vancouver Skate Plaza. I don't know what it's called in this game. I do think it's just right down here though. And what we have there is a really small skate park that'll be underneath the roadways. Yeah, I think I see it down there. And in real life in Vancouver, right by in the Rogers Arena, the big stadium underneath the bridges, you do have a Vancouver Skate Plaza. It's very, very similar to the one in the game. So again, this is a really awesome place to have, just because it's a representation of Vancouver. It's definitely, Vancouver. You pull up this and show this to anybody that's even gone to a hockey game at the arena or has been to Vancouver, tourist at all, and has driven on this main road and seen this, you know where you are. There's no question about this game being in Vancouver. So there's the big Rogers Arena there. That's where we have the hockey games and everything. Also, another cool thing that was included that a lot of people think is just, a really dumb open parking lot with just absolutely nothing to do. But in real life, if you go to Vancouver and you're near the seawall in the stadium, they do have a big open parking lot there. At least they used to have. I'm not sure on today's standards, but I do know when I was a kid and my family and I would go riding bikes on the seawall, there was a parking lot just like that sorry again, that had a bunch of BMX guys, that would be doing flat ground tricks and all that kind of stuff. So basically what I'm saying here is this map is good. I know a lot of people want modded maps and everything, and obviously I do too, but to say this map is, not big enough or it's incomplete and not finished and all that stuff, yeah, there's some open areas. Don't get me wrong, there's definitely open areas. But in real life, man, you go find a line, you ride the streets for a bit, and then you spend time on that line and try and hit it with your buddies for a while and record it. There's a bunch of stairs here by the arena, which, is awesome. And if you see in the distance there, there's a landing where I landed on one of the secret gaps. But again, at the real arena in real life, there's stair sets that go around the whole place everywhere. So to kind of have a skate park here, some open space, nothing, and then the arena with all these stairs plus, a 200 star thing that we can get, it makes a big difference to know this type of stuff, in my opinion, because I really enjoy this map and I have a great time riding on this map. And I know that's partially because I know all of these landmarks, where everything is, what everything is. So like for example, even Kale Town, in real life there's, it's called Yale Town, right? So he went ahead and made some of these references well, and on those references they have places in the game that matter to those references. So the next one we're going to check out, I know I did do a video on this spot before already, but this is the Vancouver Convention Center area in real life. And in real life, this is how the building looks. You can go on both sides of it. You can go around the building. There's stairs that go up and down. There's cruise ships that come and park here. Out front, there's not a whole lot going on for rideability, just like in real life. This is a real stair set in real life. I think in the game it's a little smaller. Again, the signs are removed or placed in different spots, so they're not in the way of your lines. This is really well done. And we're going to keep going along here. Again, this is still the same Vancouver Convention Center area. And around the corner here, what you'll see is the Vancouver Library, which is the circular building to the left. I will honestly say I think that spot is the worst done in the game as far as realism to the real spot goes. There's not enough red brick material. There's no ledges out front. There's not the right slopes out front. It shouldn't belong here either in reference to where everything else is located. It was almost like it was a last minute decision or something to put this spot in the game, or a first decision, and it's just ended up being there. But it's definitely not in a good location, and the out front of the building, in my opinion, is not done well enough. But back to the convention center here. In 2010, we got this structure in the city, and this is the Vancouver 2010 Winter Olympics Olympic Cauldron. My game is flickering a bit right now. I do have screen space reflections on. I did mess with my resolution a bit before this video and my reshade. But this structure is here in real life. It's a little bit different color in real life. It's a lot more blue, a little less black. But it's big, it's there, and that was a display at the Vancouver 2010 Winter Olympic ceremony. And that came out of the floor, so they made a replica here for the city and put it in there. Pretty awesome. In real life, this dining business here, this is actually a Cactus Club cafe. I don't know if you have a Cactus Club where you are, but it's highly overpriced, medium tier food, but they do usually have really good service, and I don't mind going there because it's a really dark environment, and the people are always really friendly and very outgoing and kind of party like there. So another thing that we do have in the city, just on the other side of things, are a dockyard. You'll see boats and stuff in multiple different spaces along the seawall. So again, a nice spot that we have in real life basically. It might not be totally accurate, but we're all here. The only thing that I wish he included on this map is in Vancouver, and we have it labeled on the map, and I was really hoping that we would be able to go somewhere with it. But you see the seawall. The seawall is labeled on the map here, and in real life, basically what you can do is there's a seawall path. Now, what that does is it allows people to have access to ride their bikes, rollerblades, skateboards, anything, you name it. It can even be electrical and pedal assisted as long as it's within the legal limits. And they have designated pathways that go through the city and go onto a seawall where you can ride around the city and around some big park called Stanley Park, and you can come back into the city on another side. So to have the seawall labeled in the game on the map and then just be presented with a tiny little portion of a wall along the sea, that was kind of disappointing. It's not really a seawall. This is a wall on the sea. I know that sounds dumb, man, but let's be honest. In real life, this seawall is like 3 miles long or 2 miles long or something. He's got 25 kilometers, I think, of roadway advertised in the game. I'd really love to see an update with just another 2 kilometers, man. Just let's go around those buildings. Let's throw it down here somewhere. Let's ride around those buildings. Let's get some seawall going on, man. We got seawall on the map, and we don't have a seawall in the game. We have a sea ledge, and I want to see that extended. If they could do one thing for a small map update that I think would be awesome, would just be to continue that seawall texture and maybe loop it around somewhere that makes a little bit of sense. Other than that, we have a good map here. We have multiple landmarks that are accurately represented. We have tons of spots around the streets that have tons of things you can do. There's tons of lines everywhere. You just have to find them and make them up and get to know the game. On that note, the game has also had tons of updates already, and the reviews are coming in as positive. The changes are being made, and I think this game has potential to be the best BMX game if it's not already. I don't know. I've never played Pipe. I've never played all these other games that have really good physics on wheels other than car racing games. But to me, for a BMX game, this is the best BMX game that I have personally ever played, and I think for a long time, personally ever will play. And as you can see, there's another little park down here. There's all sorts of little things we can do in the game. It's not just streets and dead space. There is places to go, and if you don't want to ride the streets, you can fast travel. You can ride the trike to get places faster. You can take the spillway pipes, which will connect you to multiple different locations around the city. The map is here. The map is good. The game is good. And there's one other thing I want to show you guys. It's a small spoiler, so if you don't have one of these parks unlocked, there are indoor parks in the game. I am going to be going to one of those now. So if you don't want to see indoor park stuff, you don't want to see what can be unlocked, then don't watch the video any longer. But right here is one of my favorite spots in the game. It's just a tiny little park, but I absolutely love it. You can do all sorts of cool little tricks here. Get some nice realistic smooth lines going if you want. And it's a good time, and there's not really much to complain about with the stuff that you can actually do in the game. A lot of people are just saying that things aren't good enough, whoops, and the map's not big enough, and there's not enough cool spots in the game. This skate park right here is better than some of the modded parks that I've seen come out, and everything's scaled good and everything's working. And I think that just about wraps it up for the Vancouver tour on BMX Streets. Those are the main places that I thought were the best, and the library, which I thought was the worst. Have a good day, everybody. I hope you're all enjoying the game. Take care.